My mother was desperate for a son. After finally getting pregnant, she took every sketchy gender-swapping pill and herbal remedy she could find, convinced they would turn her fetus into a boy. In my past life, I begged her to stop. I showed her science books, pleaded with her to be healthy. She listened, stopped the crazy remedies, and gave birth to a healthy baby girl. My entire family blamed me. They said it was my fault the baby wasn't a boy. I ended up dying at their hands. When I opened my eyes again, I was back to the moment my mother announced her pregnancy. This time, I kept my mouth shut. Penny, I'm pregnant. Do you want a little brother or a little sister? When I heard my mom say those words, I realized I had been reborn. In my previous life, my mom got pregnant with her second child at 40. Desperate for a son, she resorted to every trick in the book, gender-swapping pills, weird herbal brews soaked with animal parts, you name it. I tried to stop her, showing her parenting books and articles about the dangers. Because of my intervention, she had a healthy baby girl. My family blamed me. They claimed my interference turned the brother into a sister. They said I was responsible for her. I loved my little sister and took care of her tirelessly. But she grew up hating me, blaming me for her gender because the guy she liked was gay. In a fit of rage, she hacked me to death with a kitchen knife. This time, I'll give them exactly what they want. I flashed a huge smile. Of course I want a brother. Otherwise, who will carry on the family name? Mom, Dad, and Grandma treat you so well. You can't let the family line end with you. My dad and Grandma immediately shot me approving looks. My mom's smile froze for a second before she forced it back. Penny, how can you say that? A sister would be just as sweet and well-behaved as you. Heh. In my last life, when I honestly said I wanted a sister, she went crying to Dad and Grandma, claiming I cursed her to have a girl because I was afraid a brother would steal my inheritance. Dad beat me black and blue for that. What's good about a girl? If you don't give me a brother, who's going to have my back? When I make money, am I supposed to give it to outsiders? I said with righteous conviction. Grandma beamed, grabbing my hand. Our Penny has grown up. She finally understands. I hugged Grandma affectionately. Grandma, it's all thanks to my little brother. Just the thought of him makes me sensible. He's going to be the pillar of this family. In the past, whenever Dad and Grandma bullied Mom, she would just cry. I'd rush to defend her, only for her to turn around, play peacemaker, and join them in scolding me for being disrespectful. I took countless beatings for her. Never again. Mom's face turned pale, and she looked like she might faint. Soon enough, Grandma found some gender-swapping pills for Mom. Even though it's probably a boy, we can't leave it to chance. I spent a fortune on these pills. The seller guaranteed it'll be a boy if you finish the course. Grandma handed the bottle to Mom. Mom looked at me. I focused on mopping the floor, pretending not to see a thing. She had no choice but to take them. Grandma, I heard pregnancy makes you forgetful. Maybe you should keep the pills and give them to Mom every day. This is about my little brother. We can't risk any mistakes, I suggested. You love taking them? Eat up. Grandma nodded vigorously. Right, right. Penny is so smart. All that schooling wasn't for nothing. I gave Grandma a sweet smile. That night, while Dad was working the night shift, Mom pulled me into the master bedroom. Penny, I don't want to take those pills. Look at these news articles. They say those pills are dangerous, she whimpered, showing me her phone. So she knew. She knew they were scams, yet in my past life, she told my sister that if I hadn't stopped her, my sister would have been a boy. I treated her as my closest ally, a fellow victim of this family. I fought her battles, and she sacrificed me without hesitation. Good, very good. I smiled slightly and raised my voice. Mom, how can you believe the media? They write nonsense all the time. I walked out of the room, shouting, Grandma, come quick. Mom doesn't want to take the